Let's take a look at basic flower generation. Alright, we found some back in IntelliJ once more. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at custom flower generation. Now, this is just one example of some other type of generation that we could add, for example, and we're going to do this right now. So what I'm going to do is, once again, I'm going to copy over the configured feature for this because, of course, we already have a flower, and I'm going to once again explain right now. So we have the orchid config. Now, this is simply a feature.flower configured. So once again, we make sure that we use a feature that is already predefined here, the flower feature, and you can see that you could, of course, take other ones as well. So if you have something else that you want to generate that is already in vanilla, you can definitely take a look at the feature and the features class. Both of those, absolutely great. So we have to give it a state provider once again, so just a block state here, so we just pass in the block state. What is also very important is that there are other block state providers, so if I just press Ctrl-H after I click on this, you can see there's also, for example, the weighted state provider or a rotated block state provider. And the idea there is that you can actually give the weighted state provider, for example, multiple different block states. So this is a simple weighted random list, meaning that you can have multiple different block states with different weights associated with them, and then it's going to pick one of those states based on the weights. Incredibly useful, incredibly important. So if you have, for example, 8 different flowers that you want to spawn, and you just like, I just want them to spawn basically in sort of a, in like a random patch, just put in a weighted state provider and use that instead. Very cool. And then we just have a simple block placer here that just places the blocks. The 12 tries should basically be roundabout how many spawn. Same with the count. And then once again, we're just going to take the height method with 3 thresholds squared, because that's kind of the best I've got. To be honest, that's like the one that given me the best results, basically. And inside of the gen package, we're then going to make a new Java class called the mod flower generation. This is not strictly necessary, however, I do tend to like this. And then we're going to copy over the actual method here, and you will see, man, this looks very, very similar to what we've done here because it pretty much is the same idea. We're going to get the resource key and just get the type of that basic biome, or all of the types. And then if one of those types is the plains biome, we're just going to add this to it. Once again, some Java knowledge is going to help you to basically change this, make a different if statement, and that's pretty much how you would filter this. Very easily done, no issues whatsoever. This, of course, now needs to also be called right here, so we're just going to put this below the tree generation, so mod flower generation, generate flowers with the event, and there we are done. That's literally it. Now, of course, getting to this point is a little more complicated, right? We, of course, need to try out a bunch of stuff, but this is a good first start, which you can basically take and sort of configure like you want your own flowers to spawn. And also, taking a look at the vanilla ones is always going to be great. All of the code is, of course, once again, available to you in the description below, GitHub repository or individual gists. But for the time being, let's see if it works. Also, once again, don't forget to create a new world, because once again, we have changed the world generation. So that is, of course, something to keep in mind. And now let's see, maybe we're lucky and we're immediately going to spawn somewhere where the flowers are. And we do, let's go. So this is actually it. The flowers were immediately in a plains biome. So there you go. And the flowers spawned perfectly, just like we imagined. So maybe those are, too many. You can always tweak the numbers, always just play around with this. I just highly recommend, being open to experimentation when it comes to the numbers, especially, when you're changing stuff, you just have to change it. So that's how it is. Right, and that would already be it for this tutorial right here. I hope you found this useful and you learned something new. If you did, I would very much appreciate a like. And don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials just like this one. So, yeah.